The overcoming process is the becoming process. Why do we practice mindfulness meditation? Especially right now, people talk about when being mindful is to be in the present moment, be mindful with what you are doing, knowing what you are doing and be mindful of that. So the meditation of being mindful in the present moment is very, very helpful and very important for several reasons. First of all, if you are a normal person, you would have the past, the present, and the future. That's what everybody has, right? And if that's normal and what people call normal is, right? So the kind of meditation that I'm talking about is the energy meditation, the attention meditation. So there is a saying that where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Remember that. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So now you have 3 categories of time: past, present, and future. So now let me ask you, when you think about your past, when you place your attention on the past, where your energy would go? In the past. And you would think, what you did, what other people said to you, what happened to you, whatever that happened in the past, which is familiar to you, it is where you place all of your energy. And one important thing is that you can never go back to change the past. That is so true and so sad, but also very liberating, right? So now you have familiar past, which you don't want to be in that place anymore, because that is something that you cannot change, right? But unfortunately, our mind is very habitual. Our mind is always trying to regret, feel guilty, whatever that it could bring you to the past. And that is what our mind does best, right? So now you know that if you place your attention on the past, you would place all your energy on the past, right? That is the first thing. The second thing is the future, okay? We humans try to predict, try to control, try to manipulate outcomes, right? So now we think about the future, we want to plan, we want to think about what we will do, and again, that is where you place your attention. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So the future is something that is predictable, something that you can think about. That means you can predict it, right? And the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? So now, if you always place your attention in the future, that means you always place your energy in the future, and that future has not come yet. You cannot create something that has not come yet. You have to create something where you are, which is, now you have one left, the present moment. Try to sit for 1 minute, and your mind will constantly bring you to the past or to the future, because that what the mind does. It's is not created for our thriving, it's created for our survival. Because in the past, our ancestors had to be very alert, had to be always be aware of what's going on in the environment, because that could decide whether one lives or dies, right? So the mind is conditioned for survival, right? If you're not aware, then other bigger animals may eat you, or other tribes or whatever will attack you. So you have to be aware, you have to be on alert, and it is created for you to survive, right? But now it's different. You don't have to be all the time constantly on survival mode. You can be in creation mode. So that is where the present moment comes in. Why? So now you place your attention on the present moment, which is you place your energy on the present moment. Okay? So when you place your attention and energy on the present moment, what do you get? You bring back, you divest all the energy that you invested in the past or in the future, right? So what for? You may ask, why do you have to bring your energy or attention back to the present moment? Why do I have to do that? Simply, first of all, it's for your own sanity, because if you think too much about the past, which you cannot change, if you think too much about the future, which is not here yet, you become insane. It will drive you crazy. So you bring it back to the present moment, where you can do whatever you want with it, with that energy. And remember, in many spiritual practices, the present moment is where you can get to higher point, to the higher consciousness, to liberation, to enlightenment. Because you cannot find enlightenment, awareness, liberation in the past or in the future. It is in the present moment. And it doesn't involve your thinking mind. It's only involve your energy, your attention. If you place your attention on that enlightenment, liberation, your energy will be there. And it's like a radio signal, phone signal. When you have enough high energy, you raise your frequency, and your frequency will contact with the frequency of liberation, of Buddha, of Bodhisattvas, and that is where you can merge yourself with the higher frequency. And that frequency is liberation, that frequency is enlightenment. Okay? Because why I say you cannot use your thinking mind for liberation, because your thinking mind, you already know it will not get you there. Think too much is not how you can get there. How can you achieve peace, calm, or liberation? Because of thinking too much, you become depressed, you become anxious, you become worried. So thinking mind isn't helpful in terms of meditation, right? And the present moment is the moment is not familiar, it's not predictable. Because when you try to predict, when you try to return to the familiar, you are either in the past or in the future. So the present moment is not familiar and predictable. Okay? So you have to allow yourself to enter the present moment with an open heart, with trust, so that you can experience something that is not familiar, something that is not predictable, which is whatever you have experienced before, nothing like it. It is something completely different. And it is something that the Buddha said, blissful state, nirvana, liberation. So you have to be aware of that. Whenever you meditate, you are investing your energy in the present moment, which is something that is not familiar, not predictable, which is something will surprise you. And that is how we meditate. That is the importance of the present moment. And like always, your mind will try to think too much, try to drag you away. It's okay. That's what the mind does. Your thinking mind does, right? Now, anytime you are aware that your mind is bringing you back to the familiar or bringing you to the predictable, just be aware and divest the energy, the attention from that, and then instead invest it into the present moment, which is a win, which is the becoming of you. So there's a saying, the overcoming process is the becoming process. You are becoming something by overcoming your body and your mind, your thinking mind. So that is why meditation of the present moment is important and wonderful. Keep experimenting with that, and you will find something enormously satisfying. Okay? All right, thank you for listening, and don't stop smiling. Keep your smile, because when you smile, you are in the present moment too. Have a good day.